You actually broke a bone? More like dislocated. Here, a thank you message to everyone who attended the caravan. Ta-da! To those of you who aren't aware, I made a tweet yesterday that was essentially like, that mentioned I was in a cast. Long story short, I dislocated something. It's fine. I'm seeing a specialist. But short story long though, I went to go get a can of Coke Zero. And I slipped in some mud. I stepped out briefly to go get a can of Coke Zero because I was craving it, and I slipped in some mud. It's stupid. I know, this is why not to go outside. No, unironically, this is why you shouldn't go outside. I slipped up in some mud and it was like very like cartoon-esque, okay? Like my feet went up from under me. I was falling backwards. And my first instinct was to protect my head, like cradle my head because there was cement. So I was cradling my head and then boom pop goes my hand. And when I kind of came to, I guess, like when I realized what was going on, I looked down and I saw that certain things weren't bending in the way they were supposed to be bending. The story gets a lot dumber, honestly speaking. So there I am, sitting in mud, and I'm looking down, and all I could think about was Kobe Bryant. You know how Kobe dislocated his finger in a Spurs game? Yeah, I thought about that moment, and I went, if Kobe can do it, I can do it. Yeah, I just popped my bones back in, and I went to go get a Coca-Cola. And then as I am ringing up my Coca-Cola, I realized, holy shit, I am in incredible pain right now. 30 minutes passed, and I was just like, ah! Ah! But instead of calling an ambulance, like a normal person, right? I just called an Uber to the hospital. I'm just like, yeah, let's just get an Uber. This is an emergency. I'll just go get checked up. I was also bleeding where my joint was. So I was just like, oh shit, I might have like cracked a bone and it might have like splintered out and I might have just popped that back in without realizing. So I was like, okay, like I do need to go to emergency for this. So yeah, I ended up in the emergency that night, like the night before the caravan. Unfortunately, there is a doctor shortage going on right now. There's been a fucking doctor shortage for the last like 3-4 years, let's be real. So wait times are like 5 hours, and they don't give you painkillers. They do not give you painkillers for that. So I'm just like sitting in a fucking emergency waiting room with like a bunch of sick babies and the homeless, and I'm just like fucking bleeding out. They don't even give me anything for the wound, okay? They just like, here's an ice pack. Make sure you keep it on ice every like 5 to 10 minutes and don't burn yourself. And so I'm just like, ah. They didn't even put the tetanus shot in the side that's already injured. They put it in the other side. So I'm like, okay, cool. Now both arms feel fucking useless. But yeah, I was waiting there for a few hours. Eventually I got in for an x-ray. And the guy took like one look at me and went, I don't think you popped it in the right way. Which, fair enough, I'm not a fucking med student. I'm not a med student. I probably should have thought before I popped it back in. I might actually be worse for wear than if I had just left it hanging out. But in that moment, I just went, Kobe Bryant. Luckily, nothing was broken. Okay, I think I might have torn up some ligaments. Okay, I know for certain I tore up some ligaments because I can't bend anymore. But they said the specialist that I'm seeing will recommend me to rehab like for my arm. So I'm pretty confident that I'll recover. And it's not my dominant hand, thankfully. But yeah, sorry for worrying you guys. Schedules might be a little bit sparse as I rest and recover, but I'll do my best not to let it interfere with work. Yeah. Is this a bit?
everybody, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Low Effort Clips. That's right, Low Effort Clips, right here on YouTube.com. Yeah, and hit the notification bell. Yeah.